and this is the third edition. Okay, so anchor this third edition alongside my very self is Prince Akinwale Ojomo. And you welcome Prince Akinwale Ojomo. Welcome, Prince.
Thank you for having me. And good morning, also good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are.
All right, thanks so much, Prince. We won't be wasting so much time. We'll be going straight into the business of the day. To handle the welcome address is our able CEO, Mr. Emmanuel Odemayowa. Before he, takes this duty, let's just quickly run through his profile. Mr. Emmanuel Odemayowa, a product of the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University in Ife, formerly University of Ife. He has worked in various sectors of the economy. As an astute entrepreneur, he has established some companies, thereby doing his bit in providing jobs for teeming Nigeria graduates. He has garnered cognitive experience in real estate development, marketing, and consultancies over the years. Odemayowa started his career with Economic Growth and Development Center, EGDC Abuja, where he was fully involved in research projects spanning national planning and development issues. He later moved to the real estate sector as pioneer business developer with a frontline real estate firm in Nigeria. He holds a certificate in development issues from the World Bank Institute and has also attended trainings and development programs in leadership, entrepreneurship, and management. He has undergone various marketing, managerial, and leadership training, including CEP program at both the Lagos Business School and IESC Business School of the University of Navarra, Barcelona, Spain. He's a member of the United States National Association of Home Builders. He is the managing director and chief executive officer of Deluxe Residence Limited and Global Project Partner, as well the group managing director of Cavalli Investment and Business Group, as well as several business concerns. Apart from being an entrepreneur, Mr. Odemayowa is also a philanthropist. Can we welcome him with a round of applause? You're welcome, sir. Kindly unmute yourself.
Oh, okay. I hope everybody can hear me right now. So good afternoon, everyone. Laolu, thank you for that introduction.
You're welcome.
So I also want to welcome everyone to this GPP business meeting. Like Laolu said earlier, this is the third edition that we are holding, and we have had several great minds that have graced this event. So far, the event has been very good, and most of the attendees have come out with a lot of takeaways, that they got in the course of the business meetings. So I'll just talk briefly about Global Party Partners. We are a firm that's into real estate development. We do a lot of investments. As the name goes, partners. So we have a lot of partnerships in terms of real estate investment, in terms of joint ventures, in terms of financing, especially in the areas of infrastructure. We facilitate infrastructure financing. We also organize the National Infrastructure Summit. We had one a while ago, and we also planning to have one next year. It's going to be a national one in Abuja. So for us here, our major project, the flagship project for GPP right now, is the Pacific Lagos project that is on the major commercial zone of Lagos in Nigeria. It's right on Ozumba Mbadu, where we have other major and major landmark buildings. Right now, that is the project we are working on, though we have other several projects for GPP that are also coming up. So once again, I just want to welcome everybody and I believe we are going to have a great time. But before moving on, I would like to welcome my co-panelists. I want to start especially with James Law. James Law is somebody that's actually global in nature in terms of his activities, in terms of his achievements, especially with Cybertechture, and of course with Homed. Is somebody that has achieved a lot in the areas of not just architectural designs, but also areas of developing them. And one of the major strengths for James and his firms is the kind of designs they come up with. There's nobody that will say the kind of designs emanating from James Law that will not shout, wow. These are very magnificent, fantastic designs. So he has done a lot. Actually, right now, Homed, using his Homed platform in Dubai, he's doing several projects. And of course, basically, we're also in discussions with him and of course with Homed, as a platform, to be brought into our country, Nigeria, because for us as global property partners, what we are doing basically is to look more at how to attract investment into Nigeria. And that's usually also form the direction of our discussions and relationship with governments, both at the federal and the state levels. So we are having a James Law this afternoon. And I want to encourage each and every one of us to actually listen very well and follow with our heart what he's going to discuss with us today. So today we are talking about modern contemporary home designs. So I don't think right now, if I've not been to, I don't think right now there's somebody else that can probably talk more about this kind of subject that we're talking about this afternoon. So I welcome James Law. I also welcome our co-panelists. We have a Prince Akinwale Ojomo, who is a major diaspora person. So he's the CEO of Diaspora Innovation Institute. So they're also partnering with the GPP in terms of a lot of projects that we're working on, both at the federal level and some with state level, state governments. I also welcome my colleague, Laolu, Oluwarinde, who has been a fantastic job, not just in putting together the business meetings, but when you talk about operations generally, especially when you talk about global property partners, I think we can call him Mr. GPP. He has been doing a very fantastic job. So this afternoon we are here. I'm the chief host, but I can also tell you that I'm also here to listen to especially James Law, and of course see how we can also discuss, have some interactive sessions in terms of what are the areas that we can explore in terms of home design, that can bring a lot of values to real estate development. Of course, not just in Nigeria, because he's a global person. So not just in Nigeria, but basically we'll be looking more at maybe Nigeria, Sub-Saharan Africa, and other parts of the world. So thank you very much. I think Laolu can have the floor.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, sir. We so much appreciate it. That was a lovely welcome address, and we are so honored. To everybody, welcome again to GVP Business Meeting organized by Global Property Partners. Global Property Partners is an investment firm with core interest in real estate, investment, partnership, and we are open to global opportunities. We say welcome again. Can you just sit back, relax, as we take this few minutes of interlude? We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey there. Have you seen the amazing hotel apartments of the Pacific Lagos on Ozumbambadwe Road in Victoria Land, Lagos?
You haven't? Then download the Pacific Lagos app from the Google Play Store. The interactive virtual tour app allows you to experience photorealistic representations of what the project will look like when it is built.
You get to have a 360 panoramic view of spaces within the apartment. The app also allows you to move from space to space. Now, let's take a look at that space over there. Now, download the Pacific Lagos app from the Google Play Store and experience these spaces for yourself.
The Pacific Lagos. This two-tower prestigious architectural masterpiece comes with a unique blend of commercial, luxury, residential, and play space. Built to inspire, designed to enjoy Lagos living at its best, the Pacific Lagos is an excellent masterpiece that will boast a 10-floor commercial tower with premium office spaces and a 12-floor residential with hotel apartments. This iconic mixed-use residential and commercial luxury high-rise is destined to be the first in its class in the center of an eclectic, culturally rich metropolis. The Pacific Lagos. Live, work, play.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. In this edition of GBP business meeting, and we have a very strong partner that joined hands with us in this particular edition, and this partner is called Diaspora Innovation Institute, and this institute is being headed by our Prince Akinwale Ojomo. So we'd like to invite him as he talk to us about Diaspora Innovation Institute. Welcome, Prince. Anything before?
Yeah, thank you very much, Laolu, for the brief introduction. And again, I thank the CEO of GPP, who spoke before, welcoming us for the great welcome and the extensive introduction of our good friend, James Law, as well. So I won't waste much time to be able to actually talk about Diaspora Innovation Institute. I know I have about like 10 minutes, so I have about 10 slides, so I'm going to go through them quickly to let you know what Diaspora Innovation Institute has been doing in Nigeria for the past almost 10 years. We're going to be 10 years next year, as a matter of fact. So this institute actually was started based on the need of diaspora engagement. Over the time and over years, we look at the numbers. So Diaspora Innovation Institute actually brings about 25 billion USD into the country. So either we like it or not, so we have this kind of revenue coming into Nigeria. So, and we believe that if this is coming to Nigeria, we're going to have a way to be able to tap into it. So not only in the sea, which is in economics, is the consumption, but we have to look at how it can be converted into what we now call investment. And that's why we're having this conversation, because we can tap the remittances into different areas of investment, especially in real estate and construction. So quickly, our partnership programming include education research, linkages to donor and diaspora experts. So we have a SIM program with some of the universities. And of course, we do a lot of working visits into North America, Asia, and of course, United Kingdom. So I think next slide, we can talk about some of our services as well in terms of how do Diaspora Innovation Institutes work well with institutions like GPP, which we've been working with for a long time, and as well even with HOMED, which of course we are having an explosive introduction into Nigeria. And of course, an earlier mention was made of the current project in Hong Kong, Canada, and even Dubai as well. So I'm going to quickly talk about how do we harness this. So we look at the 25 billion USD that comes into Nigeria as a remittance. So how do we harness this in such a way that it becomes a veritable fund that can be tapped either by GPP or by HOMED or by other different institutions that we are partnering with? So going through the list, we have some of the partners, knowledge partners, and even some key partners we have in across the world. We have a few of them. State University of New York, which is where we have our head office in New York City. And of course, we have OMED in Hong Kong, where good friend James belongs. And of course, he's going to be able to talk about some other product that we have. Then, of course, there's a couple of other ones, the Delaware State University in the United States, and all the rest of them. So quickly, we can move into how do we harness, like I was just talking before, into see how does these remittances, which has become a veritable tool of diaspora, into investment. And that's actually the prelude of what I'm having now, and see how this can be converted in a very short period of time. So next slide, please. So where I'm getting to the next slide, I will talk about the linkage with Mr. James Law. We have met a while back, actually, I'm not sure now, maybe in China or in India, one of the World Economic Forum events. We are both young global leaders, so obviously we kind of have something in common to be into that World Global Forum. So essentially, like the CEO of GPP said, that is so amazing to see some of the key things that he's been doing on the global level. So we talk about how do we leverage his skills, his design, his network in benefiting Nigeria. So that's actually how we are, what we are looking at right now, and how we will be able to look at that in terms of housing, which is the core area, affordable, luxury design, and ensuring that this meets the big deficit that we have in Nigeria, even in the West African sub-region. So I'm going to conclude quickly with this, that as we have this conversation today, we need to have in mind that the diaspora will be a critical part of this equation, of this pie chart. So we have on one side the skill and the designs, and the funding is very critical as well into how does this become a reality. So having GPP in Nigeria as one of the very stable partner, we believe in the short while we'll be consummating OMED Nigeria and having a structure and in terms of project that will be flagship in terms of for the diaspora project. So again, thank you again for having me and giving this quick introduction. But I think on the long run, the benefits of this partnership will go a long way to have impact not on the Nigerian economy, creating jobs, and at the same time ensuring that this global impact will be able to have and feel this not only at the state level and the federal level in terms of the sustainable development goals. My very good friend James, in the next couple of minutes. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Prince Akinwale Ojomo. And we also appreciate Diaspora Innovation Institute for partnering and for always being right beside us, supporting us, and helping us to move in this journey. And welcome back, everybody. And we continue very soon. Our main and guest speaker will be coming up. But before then, we'll go for a quick interlude. After this interlude, my co-anchor will bring in the guest speaker, and we'll go into the main business of the day. Thank you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the seat.
Hello, bro. Congratulations. I just heard the good news. Country manager for such a huge multinational. Man, you're made.
Thanks, man. I'm so happy, especially after working so hard for this opportunity. Now I can live my dream.
You don't sound too excited.
Well, I've been thinking of where to invest the increase in my finances. I'm not going to waste this chance, man. I want to put my money in something solid. After all these years of struggle, oh boy, I want to grow real wealth for myself.
That's a small thing now. Haven't you heard of the Pacific Lagos by Global Property Partners? We've got you covered.
That's right. The best investment on earth is Earth. Global Property Partners is now offering for sale 1- and 2-bedroom hotel apartments in the heart of Victoria Island. With as low as 10 million naira, you can own a piece of luxury at the Pacific Lagos, located on Ozumbambadiwe Avenue, Victoria Island, Lagos. Fully serviced with suspended mosaic tile swimming pool, recreation floor equipped with gym, spa and massage facilities, game room, shopping mart, lifts, restaurants and bars. spa, plus other cutting-edge amenities, round-the-clock security, 24 hours power supply, breathtaking views of Lagos Lagoon and Atlantic, and more. Visit www.thepacificlagos.net or call 0816-162-2647 or 0.
Welcome back. Over to
Oh,
you.
great. Welcome back from the interlude. I think at this time, while we are bringing in James Law, I'm just wondering how comfortable I will be to read his long bio. But quickly, I should be able to really do that and tell you firsthand what I know of him. He's been a very good friend, at the same time, a global designer, like the CEO mentioned before. He has done great works. Actually, the iPad in Dubai is one of the great designs that we are always very proud of. So if you go to Dubai, just look for the iPad. It's a very slanting design that he has done very well. So I'm always very proud of him. And when essentially I see some other great designs, I always say, oh, I know this guy, that is a guy that's a call away. So he has done so much work in the different design around the world. And also he has been able to create novel designs to meet the Sustainable Development Goals, which is actually one of the projects that we have currently in Hong Kong. And obviously there are some couple of other projects coming up in Canada right now. And of course, our goal is to be able to bring one to Nigeria in a very, very short while. When we are having this discussion about this project in Nigeria, it was very, very aggressive. He said we should be able to have a project, I think if I recall, in the fall of 2020, to listen to him firsthand. And of course, he is the CEO of Cybertechture, and at the same time, one of the executive directors for OMED Global. Once again, my very good friend, welcome, James Law.
So thank you very, very much. And it's a real honor to be here. I'd like to thank Emmanuel, Laolu, and of course, my dear friend Akinwale for inviting me to be talking to you today. I'm speaking to you from Hong Kong, and now in this connected world, we can all be in touch with each other, which is a magnificent thing. And I very much hope that we here in Hong Kong and you or in Nigeria are safe and doing well in life. And today is just a big pleasure for me to be able to share with you some of the work that me and my team are doing, and also now in collaboration with Akinwale in Africa. So if I'm allowed, can you please let me share my screen so that I can show a PowerPoint of our, I'm an architect, and I make a very special kind of design because I believe the world needs a new approach to how we can design our cities and our buildings. And it's called Cybertechture, and it's also the name of my company. But today I'm going to talk about two things. One is architecture, and I'm also going to talk about housing. In many ways, all of us, especially us architects, we have a responsibility to the world to see that the world is really quite a complex place, full of challenges, everything from urbanization to poverty, to the lack of housing, to the lack of energy, to the destruction of nature. And I think every country in the world is facing the same challenges. And we are also now powered up with new technologies and innovations such as AI and new digital tools. The question is, how can we as architects architect the future? And for me, and in my work, I've always believed that the old architecture of the past must be supplanted by a new architecture of the future, because the world is so different. So how we used to build was right 100 years ago, but how we need to build in the future must be invented and innovated right now. So the buildings that we have to look in the future are going to be made out of newer materials, more flexible, more sustainable, and certainly targeted to solve some of the problems that we are facing. I'm going to show you some projects that we're working on, which I think a lot of people are a bit shocked. They go a bit wow. And the reason is that they fundamentally go to the heart of why we are challenging the urban fabric. So this project is called Technosphere, and it's actually a new city in a completely new format in the UAE for the UAE government. Instead of building a city that is, just full of buildings and streets, we have gone with an approach where we compact the entire city into a man-made planet, thereby doing away with all the streets and the pollution and the congestion of a city, but instead relieving the city with a lot more public space around the city itself and creating something that is much more energy efficient, much more resilient, and much more akin to how we need to live in an ever-changing world. This kind of architecture is almost like creating a new planet, something that is going to be recrafting a megastructure that is going to contain nature, that's going to contain agriculture, that's going to contain the lives of people, the work of people, all in the same structure. And such projects, although they seem to be almost very futuristic, is entirely what this world needs at this time, because the same solutions that we pursued in the past are not catching up with the problems that we're facing today with climate change, with the lack of water, with the lack of energy. So we must try to be bold and creative and innovative in how we recraft the very kind of civilization around us. So I really believe that architecture is changing the world, along with learning from technology. Many of our buildings are entirely crafted by computer and AI. So the shape of the building is no longer just a box, but very intelligent shapes, just like how we design an aircraft or a spacecraft. And when we do this, we can actually unleash a new level of architecture, one that is so much more wonderful through its performance for sustainability, through its complexity and beauty, such as like when we see in nature, something that is so beautiful in its shape. We can do the same now in architecture. And we are doing this because we have the new technologies and skills available. And that is what I call cybertechture. So many of the projects we build around the world, including what you've seen before, which are in the Middle East or in Russia, and here this picture is in India, are very high-tech buildings that really try to rediscover the meaning of what architecture can do for people. So for example, this building for Deutsche Bank is not only an office building, but it's a building that builds in vertical landscape and outdoor spaces to let people breathe and let people have a much more balanced living and working lifestyle balance that is not available normally in other buildings. And through all of these innovations, we think we are making a difference. We feel that we are making buildings that can actually shape and improve people's lives. Akinwale kindly mentioned my project in Dubai. We have many projects in Dubai. This is one of them. And the breakthrough in this particular architecture is that we don't see architecture anymore as just a building, but we see it as a piece of cybertechture that is empowered through technology. So this building and its simile, which is an iPod or an iPhone, is exactly the same. The building has software and applications that not only make your life easier, but also takes care of you. And that technology is now leading into new things like virtual reality, where when we build an apartment of a specific size, we can make it feel even bigger than that real size. We can go into the metaverse. We can have virtual space mixed with real space. And in doing so, we actually create a new kind of experience in our buildings. So you're selling 1,000 square feet, but you could be experienced 10,000 square feet. And also, many of the devices in our cybertechture are going to be Internet of Things, including here in our building in Dubai. The mirrors have been invented by us to be digital windows connected to technology. So when you are facing this mirror, it also monitors your health, prompts you about your life, guides you in being healthy. And so the building is not only the space that you live in, but it's also your digital partner in life, trying to keep you safe, trying to give you a balance that we really need in this kind of modern era. And so architecture is amazing in its potential. In fact, we are rewriting the books on architecture. We all expect architecture to be a building grounded on a site, but now we are making buildings that can move. So here is a project that we have made, is a movable building that is all wired up, all pre-built, all prefabricated in the factory using machines and robots. And this particular building is entirely sustainable, and it can be moved from site to site. So no longer do we need to waste our buildings, but we can literally move our buildings from site to site. And you can see inside, all of the luxury elements are already built in and is ready to live from day one. And because these buildings are movable, they can be delivered to many different places, affording a freedom of life that we often cannot get from our architecture. We can live on a mountain, we can live on a beach, we can live by a lake, we can live in a kind of freedom of movement. And those locations can all be your home. Imagine in different seasons, moving your building from place to place, or in a more desperate situation, avoid disasters, avoid climate change, avoid the problems that are no longer solvable where you are. So the city starts to move because the buildings can move. And so we've even designed buildings that are made out of these movable buildings. So this is a tower which uses the same module that we did before. And these are stacked and connected to the core of the building. And so this building conceivably can change. It can actually be reprogrammed by shifting different pods from place to place and attaching them in different locations, changing the nature of the building. Now, I think there is a lot of talk so far about high technology and innovation, but if we are not able to touch the lives of real people, and most real people in the world are suffering from the affordability of housing, etc., then whatever innovation we create in architecture will be wasted. So we've also been working very hard on a new kind of architecture for poorer people, for people that cannot afford a high-tech building to live in. So we use the technology of something
don't forget to scroll your slide.
Concrete water pipes.
Oh, sorry.
We use concrete water pipes.
Don't forget to scroll your slide. Your slide.
Can you see my slide?
Yeah, kindly scroll it.
Can you see the slides?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you see?
You can see it, but you're not scrolling.
Yeah. So the concrete water pipes.
You can see it, but you're not.
So these concrete water pipes are converted into high-tech, affordable small houses. And these houses are very resilient, they're very safe, very strong, and they're readily available. Everywhere in the world, they're making concrete water pipes. And just by converting them, you start to make an affordable, fast house. And these houses can be made available to people in a very fast way by delivering them to plots of land that would otherwise take years to develop, but can quickly deliver affordable housing. So here's inside these O-pods, we call them O-pods, and they have flexible furniture inside, they have kitchen areas, and fundamentally for hygiene, they have their own bathrooms and their own showers. So people don't need to share these facilities, which is normally the case in slums or shanty towns. You can have the hygiene of your own bathroom. And these concrete water pipes can also be stacked to become vertical buildings that can be built very, very quickly. They are actually very, very flexible. They can be scaled up or scaled down. and they can be delivered or moved from site to site using cranes and lorries. And they can also be built inside our city, in the gaps between buildings. They can be built under highways. They can be built on top of other. We have another version of OPOD, which is called BoxPod, that is actually using another form of concrete product called a box culvert. And this box culvert is also converted into a small family home. So this one is a little bit bigger. This is about 250 square feet, whereas the OPOD was only about 150 square feet. So this is for a small family, a flexible space that they can move in, bring in their furniture, and quickly live. And these pods all together can create a community. So this is the first project we're building in Hong Kong, which is using both the OPOD and the BoxPod. As you can see, they're stacked up on top of each other. In this case, just 2 floors. But they also start to create a community feeling.
Looks like we're not following you with that screen. Looks like is it only me? Looks like you are sharing. It's not in this on the.
Okay, don't worry. I think it's the internet. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. So I'll just carry on first, and I think the other slides will explain what you couldn't see. So you know, my dear friend Prince Akinwale and I, along with my co-founder Frank, and we're in 3 different countries. We are very much passionate about housing. And we have an organization called HOMED. And HOMED is a kind of startup that empowers different places around the world to build using OPOD and BoxPod. And the way in which we want to do it at home to bring benefit to people is we want to deliver what we call a circle of good. So what we do at home is we go to different countries, we establish friends and networks, and we get to know the concrete industry, and we get to know the government, and we get to know the landowners, and we start to try to finance and build affordable housing for people. The first thing we do, as you can see, number 1 here, is to provide employment. So working with different parties, we try to create jobs for the jobless and the homeless so that they start to be able to build OPODs and BoxPods working with the concrete factory. In doing so, we build hope for them. They have a hope in their lives. And then after they are building it, they have really created self-respect by creating the homes that their own community needs. And then these homes, when they are delivered to the site, they start to rebuild the communities that are broken through poverty, through the lack of housing, through the lack of affordability. And in doing so, that shelter results in creating dignity. So society is starting to rebuild its own dignity. And then every project that is completed successfully in this HOMED circle of good results in being an inspiration. It starts to inspire society to do more. And therefore, we have created a social impact. And so this circle of good is how HOMED will work to deliver this kind of innovative architecture to the different places. So here are some projects that we are currently doing. This is an image from a project we're doing in Vancouver, Canada. You can see using the BoxPods, we create
we still can't see. We can't see the slides
courtyard
still.
Space. And these courtyard spaces are very important. Can you see? Right? Can you see?
No,
so
no.
These courtyard spaces are at the heart of the community. Can you see now?
No.
You cannot see?
We can't see.
Can you see this next one?
You can't see. Maybe you have to refresh your slide.
Can you see this one now?
You can't see. Maybe you have to refresh
Okay, let me stop and then share again.
We missed a lot of the slide. Now we are seeing. You might have to run through from the beginning, kind of summarize. From the beginning, kind of summarize.
Okay. Well, I think it's the internet speed that's precluding us from showing it smoothly. But this is another project we're doing in Vancouver. This one is a project that involves a women's charity. So it's a settlement for women who are in danger. Projects we're doing in North America. So I think that's my presentation. So I just want to maybe conclude by saying that, you know, I think everywhere in the world is never I think everywhere in the world is in need of innovation. And especially in the way in which we build our communities, how we build our cities, and how we build our buildings. And I believe that the new generation of architecture needs to have those kind of innovations. It's almost that new generation of architecture should be a technology that alleviates suffering for many different aspects of life anywhere in the world. And that's the kind of thing that we're working on. And specifically for housing, we have a Home to do that. And then for innovative buildings and the design, we have James Law Cybertechture, which is my architectural firm. So that's my presentation today. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Prince Akinwale.
Yeah, thank you very much, James, for the great presentation. Just unfortunately, I think some other there's a myth and I know we should be able to work that with us, so we can all the attendees. So at this time, I will say
sorry, the audio broke up.
Okay. So at this time, I think if there are questions that we have from the audience. Then please, you can raise your hand or type the question in the chat room, and Laolu or myself will just read it out. But I can go with a question if you don't mind. So James, these innovations has been going around the world, literally like in almost all the different continents, as it were right now. In terms of adaptability, right? Can you share with us, especially with different time zones, with different weather, how have you been able to wrap your head around that in terms of working in different adaptation, in terms of weather? Thank you. Different adaptation in terms of weather. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. It's a very good question. The way that we deal with it is, first of all, we never make one design. We always have a very flexible design strategy. We believe that every place in the world is different. The climate is different. The culture is different. Fundamentally, the people are different. But there are also shared values. And those shared values also make it possible for us to transfer some ideas from one place to another. But we are always very careful and very intimate about the local conditions. So how we do it is we always try to find good partners, whether it's good local architects or good local developers, able to work hand in hand with us, so that when we try to think about bringing a very innovative idea to a new place, that idea is tested, it is modulated, it is adjusted so that it actually works for the place. So we always feel that we have to be humble. We also have to always be willing to bring new ideas to any new place that we go to. And I think that's where when you work hand in hand with great local partners.
Thank you very much. And I think there are a couple of other individuals trying to send their question in. While they are doing that, I'm sorry to, I can take another question based on my interaction with you. And that's in the area of job creation and skill development. One of the preliminary things I've been able to do is to tap into some of the universities in Nigeria to see how such skill in terms of construction of this project can be documented in such a way that even university students can literally have these skills, and when those projects are rolled out, they become immediate target in terms of employees being used. So literally, a very simple example is because one of the target audience we are looking at is building hostel housing in the universities. So a student can be in the university and at the same time, when such projects are launched, be involved in those projects. So from the experience in Hong Kong and in Canada, has there be any documentation or skill development that maybe when we are starting the project in Nigeria, we can tap into?
I think construction is still going to be needing a lot of people to work on it. It's not going to be just manufactured from the factory. So it's an opportunity to use construction and development to be a kind of catalyst for creating jobs and opportunities. Also, I think in the construction industry, fundamentally, it is a vocational trade. So, whether you're a carpenter or you are a bricklayer or whether you're an electrician, it builds real skills. And so there's a need for those skills. And then there's also a great on-site training of those skills. So construction is really an incredible kind of apprenticeship for people who want to learn hard skills. And I think, at the end of the day, if you look at the trends, construction is only going to increase. It's not going to decrease. Globally, the rate of construction is actually still increasing. And so we are facing a shortage of workers. So if we are able to incubate a new generation of construction workers, from universities, from colleges, and even from other, sectors of, society, including those who are maybe, homeless or jobless, and to train them up, then I think, you are building solid skills and giving real job opportunities to the community. And so it's like literally that circle of good. It's not just making the buildings, but it's like in the act of making those buildings, you are giving careers and you're giving a kind of vocational training to people. And I think that is a good and necessary thing that we also have to take care of, not just making the building, but who and how will benefit from the making of the building.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I got a question here from a colleague who has actually sent it earlier. And the question is about post-COVID, right? So that's the common word, post-COVID. It has changed the way we do things. So fast forward or thinking forward, how do you think that post-COVID is going to affect literally this project, not only in Nigeria or where you're going to have that launch shortly, maybe, of course, in other continents as well, North America and Europe and even in the Middle East. North America and Europe and even in the Middle East.
Yeah, I think the COVID situation is, of course, the biggest impact on everybody right now. Every sector in the economy is affected. And also because of all of these other systemic impacts of COVID on the economy, many people have become quite stressed about being able to continue to afford to live in their homes. So I think there is probably a need in terms of having some long problems like COVID. I mean, right now, but then we also need to build homes which are more safe and healthy. Many of the pandemic and disease problems are made worse by the way in which we design and build our homes. I mean, in some projects that we're doing now, the higher end projects, we actually have design strategies like things like called touchless. So from the moment you arrive at the building, you don't touch anything to go home. So the doors don't need you to touch, they're automatic. The lifts recognize which floor you live on, so you don't need to press the lift buttons. And when you get home, you use your smartphone proximity to access the door, and you don't need to unlock the door, it automatically unlatches and you just push it and you walk in. And then before you arrive home, a desanitization system is already activated because they know you're on the way home, and it's already cleaned the air in your home. Now, these things are very high end, and these are expensive, and these are more for the middle to high category of architecture. But then back to the more affordable and more kind of down to earth architecture, simple things like designing better cross ventilation, designing bathrooms that are more safe and more hygienic by the way in which we use materials and how we design the plumbing, and making it available to more people need to take care of in the post-COVID world. We cannot just hope that disease don't come again, because we know for sure that they will come again, and it will be silly if we don't design with more wisdom and more built in with more resilience to that kind of risk and threat. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So I have another question here, since most of the participants are from Nigeria, even though I said it before. So they want to know, when is the first project going to come up in Nigeria? The first project going to come up in Nigeria?
That depends on you, buddy. That depends on you, my friend. Look, we are happy to work anywhere in the world that we are needed. And so if anyone wants to do a project and they feel that we are the right designers and we're the right partners to do it, we'll be happy to discuss. I've visited Nigeria a few times, and I feel that this is an incredible place, and we know that the whole African region is going to be the next big continent of development. And so, I think any, new starter or late starter projects should be innovative, should be more new in the way in which they are conceived. Just as you referenced Dubai, for example. Dubai is a late starter, and they did many things which are very innovative. And I think in Nigeria, there should be an innovation in the way in which you take the next steps of how to build a city. So yeah, we would love to work there. We hope Homed will find a project there soon that we can actually create the first affordable housing project from Homed in Nigeria, but also high-end and luxury projects as well. We'll be happy to look at those and see what we can do to make a landmark and iconic project in Nigeria that it becomes the talk of the town, but also talk of the continent. That would be really exciting.
Thank you very much. And of course, we are GPP. We have project already. And that is the Lagos Pacific. So you know about that, and that would be a project that will be willing to have some of the investors to be able to invest in across from other continents. Yes, I have another question here. It is, how easy is it for investors who might be interested in investing in the specific project in other continents, and is asking what are the requirements?
So that's a little bit of a complex question. So most of the projects that we do, we don't own those projects. So we are the architects and we're the designers of the project. And they are developed by our clients or our partners, we say, in different parts of the world. And so the actual investment opportunity for those projects, they vary a lot, I'm sure, from place to place. I mean, some are for sale, some are for rent, and then maybe some of those companies are welcoming funds for investment into buying, portions of the project, etc. So I can't specifically say how people can invest in our projects. The projects, but I think basically within the markets of each of these projects, whether it's in the Middle East or in Russia or Europe or Asia, there are opportunities to invest in them. Having said that, I can tell you it's very diverse, and I would encourage anyone who's interested to invest in any project to do their due diligence and learn about the local, the actual local intricacies about every project on a legal and financial level. And then in terms of, managing risks, etc., every place in the world is different. And we appreciate that. That is not such an easy single answer that you can give to every project.
Okay, thank you very much. And my additional response to that is that the individual should contact us at GPP since we are global partners, so we can leverage and turn them to the right direction. Although the link did not show his name, so you can contact any of us, myself or Laolu. We should be able to have a meeting with you and put you directly with some of our global partners and different projects. So, and hopefully, of course, we're going to have one in Nigeria very soon. So let's see another question here. Okay. Oh, yes. There's another question here sent to me directly, and it's about the sustainable development goals impact of some of these projects. Things are changing quickly, and 2030 is right here. How are you being reactive, proactive, I'm gonna use that word, for or enabling to be able to achieve the SDGs? Thank you. Enabling to be able to achieve the SDGs. Thank you.
Thank you. That's actually a very important question. I didn't talk about it very much in the presentation. The UN SDGs is, the most pervasive kind of benchmark for, the goals behind sustainability. And it's been taken up by governments, it's been taken up by institutions, developers, as a kind of benchmark for how projects should be pitched in terms of their ambition for being sustainable. So for many of projects that we do, our clients actually demand a certain level of SDG conformance. And I think it's not possible for any project to achieve all of the SDGs, because the SDGs is very broad, but very specific ones about energy use and water and things like this are very, very much now basic within architectural design. And then some of the fringe ones, like about equality, about giving opportunities and things like that, are also now sometimes within projects, so that the way projects are procured, access to the projects, etc., all have those kind of characteristics as well. So the UN SDGs are a really, really good kind of benchmark for how, to what extent and how your project is reaching towards the end goal of being totally sustainable. And I think it's almost like a given now. Almost every project, when we make presentations, they have those logos at the bottom to say you've achieved SDG 1, SDG 2, SDG 3, and which ones you don't target for. And so, yeah, I would encourage everyone to study the UN SDGs and see them as a good guideline to making projects more sustainable, and ultimately that.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, we are almost getting to the end of the program. And I think, Laolu, did you raise up your hand, Laolu?
Yes, I did. All right, it's been a very interesting and informative session, though we couldn't see the slide. So on behalf of everybody, we would like to request if we could, take some 2 minutes to just scroll to the slide from the beginning to the end, so that our audiences can see it. So please, James, can you just share the slide in the next two minutes? Let's just scroll through the slide.
Yeah, okay. Just scroll through. Yeah, no problem. I'll just give a very, very quick précis of that. Maybe I'll do it like this. So can you see the slides?
See the first slide. So let's scroll down.
Can you see the slides?
No. Okay. Yes, it's coming up now. Okay. Can you just click on slideshow?
These are the slides that.
No. Okay. Yes, it's coming up now.
Okay.
Can you just click on slideshow?
Yeah. I'm just worried that the slideshow you to break down anyway. So these are the slides that. Did you see this one before?
No. You can go on.
Can you see?
Yes, the next. No, we are still at slide 4. Okay. No, we are still at slide 4. Okay, it's going now.
I think there's a problem with the internet. I think it's better to see it like this.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think it's just easier to see it like this. Okay. So this is the.
Go on.
This is a city project. This is some of the architecture projects. This is the pad in Dubai with virtual reality, with the smart mirror, with the mobile architecture. And the freedom to live in different places, and the future of high-rise buildings, and using the concrete water pipes to create affordable housing. And here are the interiors. And we can stack up the buildings to become high-rise buildings.
Lovely, lovely, very lovely.
It can be placed in many places, including on the highways. Yeah. And we also have a square version made out of concrete box cover. And this is our projects in Hong Kong. And we have Homed, which has a circle of good. And these are our projects in at Homed in Vancouver. Yes, those are all the slides.
Oh, wow. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. And I believe the audiences would have seen that. Okay, so thanks so much. I believe the audiences would have seen that. Okay, so before we continue, let's take a short interlude and we'll come back to interactions.
Located in the central business hub of the historically rich and culturally diverse city of Lagos, Nigeria, it is a magnificent and modern architecture that emulates the spirit of its vibrant and urban city. Introducing the Pacific Lagos. The iconic mixed-use residential and commercial luxury high-rise is destined to be the first in its class in the center of the eclectic metropolis. This is refined urban living at your doorsteps with exquisite amenities of a high-end high-rise. The Pacific Lagos is an exclusive development designed to stand out when it comes to the luxurious lifestyle in Lagos. The Pacific Lagos. Live, work, play.
All right, welcome back. As it's indeed been a very informative and valuable meeting. We might need to let the speaker go because he just mentioned that he has another meeting to attend to. So before he leaves, we just ask him to permit us, probably grant us extra 5 minutes so that we can give room for any other person that might have something to ask. So that we can give room for any other person. So I don't know if your Prince has any other question from his end before we let him go.
Yes, I think, Laolu, at this time, I think if there are other questions, they should feel free to send it to yourself or to the GPP group. And we will have to do it again because like a lot of good responses from the audience. So if you don't mind, I can quickly do the vote of thanks. So on behalf of GPP, Nigeria and Diaspora Innovation Institute, I must say that we've had a great opportunity to interact with this global icon, James Law, who sits in Hong Kong. And that's one of the biggest things from COVID. Literally, like you can now talk to people all over the world across different time zones. We really thank you for the time. I know you're very busy. Different projects in the time. And I know you're very busy. But we say that we appreciate your time and looking forward to a greater conversation, not only tangible products. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I appreciate it. Thank you again, CCP, for this platform. Mr. Odemayowa, we appreciate your leadership and for your consistency and making sure. And our audience as well. We appreciate the time, taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. I hope you'll be able to learn one of those things. So please send an email. I'm looking forward to this on Ozumbamba the way. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, James. We will look forward to seeing you, in another DPP business meeting. Thanks so much. Bye. And to everyone attending today, we really want to appreciate you. Once again, this is GPP business meeting organized by Global Property Partners. Global Property Partners is a global investment firm with core interest in real estate investment partnerships. And like we always say, we are open to global opportunities. The business meeting, it's a periodical business meeting. Definitely the next edition will be coming up in the month of October. Just look forward to it. In the course of the month, we'll share the information about the next business meeting. We appreciate you. If you still have comments, questions, though we're running off now, if you have comment questions, kindly send to us. You can send to info@globalpropertypartners.net, or you call the following lines. You call 014536104. I call it again, 014536104. Or you also call 08161622647. We really appreciate you. I say thank you to my co-anchor, Prince Akinwale Ojomo, the brain behind Diaspora Innovation Institute. I just want to appreciate my able CEO, Mr. Emmanuel Odemayowa. He's a man I respect so much. He's a good mentor, and he has really tutored us here a lot and given us so many opportunities. We appreciate you. And for those of us that would like to know more about our services, you can as well call those lines that we mentioned, or you visit our social media handle. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. You can interact with us on those platforms. And if you would like to partner with us or sponsor the GPP business meeting, please also contact us. And just watch out, very soon we have a live edition, a very big one, very, very soon. Watch out, watch out. I will say thank you once again. Enjoy the rest of the day. And we say thank you from Global Property Partners. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Good job. Bye.
Oh, hey there. Have you seen the amazing hotel apartments of the Pacific Lagos on Ozumbamba Road in Victoria Land, Lagos? You haven't? Then download the Pacific Lagos app from the Google Play Store. The interactive virtual tour app allows you to experience photorealistic representations of what the project will look like when it is built. You get to have a 360 panoramic view of spaces within the apartment. The app also allows you to move from space to space. Now, let's take a look at that space over there. Now, download the Pacific Lagos app from the Google Play Store and experience these spaces for yourself.
Welcome to the future of real estate investment, the Pacific Lagos by Global Property Partners. Who are we?
Global Property Partners is a member of Cavalli Business and Investment Group, a fast-growing company in Lagos, Nigeria, and we have associates all over the world in UK, UAE, USA, and we are spreading our tentacles more. Global Property Partners is an investment firm with a core interest in real estate, investment, partnership, and we also have a little bit of interest also in energy.
Our mission.
Yeah, we are here to create avenues for individuals, corporate bodies, organizations, Nigerians in diaspora, even foreigners to generate revenues and to more or less improve their financial worth.
Why the Pacific Lagos?
Pacific Lagos is a platform whereby people with interest, or organizations or corporate bodies with interest in real estate can take advantage of to really generate the kind of revenue we are talking about. We've actually looked around and we discovered that we don't really have much of hotel apartments in Nigeria, unlike when you go to Dubai, when you go to UK. And look, why don't we bring that concept into Nigeria, whereby you can buy hotel apartment, 1 and 2 bedroom, and run the short let kind of real estate business with it. And at the same time, we're also looking at a situation whereby we can also help improve the real estate industry. That's why we have Pacific Lagos.
What is the Pacific Lagos?
Pacific Lagos is a twin tower project right there on Mbadiwe Avenue, Victoria Land, not far away from the Radisson Blu, the Kofu Abayomi, and law school and all that. Pacific Lagos is a twin project, like I said, twin tower with a residential block and a commercial block. The commercial block is on the 13th floor, block, and the residential is a 15th floor block. From the ground floor to the second floor, you have the car park. Then on the top floor, you have the recreational floor where you have all the fun. Yeah, they're talking about the swimming pool, the gym, the lounges, even have a mini mart. There's a possibility of having a cinema. So that floor is where you have all the fun you want. Then still talking about the residential, from the 4th floor to the 15th floor, you have on each floor you have 2 1-bedroom, which is 97 square meters. Then you have a smaller 2-bedroom, which is 98 square meters, just a unit of that. Then you now also have 2 units of 129 square meters of 2-bedroom, which is replicated on the 4th floor to the 15th floor.
How to invest in the Pacific Lagos?
You might be thinking, okay, how can I partake in this lovely project? It's as simple as this. 2 options: either you buy into it or you invest your funds into it. Buying means that you drop an initial deposit of 10 million and you spread your balance over 30 months. And the project is slated for 36 months. Sometime in 2023, this project is planned to be delivered. So you pay over 30 months. Then if you want to invest, all you need is just as low as 5 million naira. Once you drop your 5 million naira, you can get your returns annually. Mouth-watering return for that matter. And if you want to learn more, just put a call through. Thank you.
What we have done at Global Property Partners is to put this together to see how we can encourage a lot of Africans, especially Nigerians, to be able to invest into properties in the diaspora.
This business meeting is being organized by Global Property Partners. My name is Laolu Oluwarinde, and I'm the head of operations of Global Property Partners. Global Property Partners is an investment firm with interest in real estate, in investment, in partnerships, infrastructure, and also energy.
So typically 80% of our buyers are purchasing for investment and buy-to-let. So our key hotspots, so we're actually headquartered in Manchester, Waters Project, which would be one of
As a company, we work with several developers in the UK. So we are independent. As with GPP, we are partnered together. So we actually have the whole of the panel with regards to development that we work with.
You do something called your annual accounts in the UK, and in the annual accounts, you'd show your expenditure, your profit, your turnover.
Recently, I've been working as a solicitor now for over 15 years in the legal sector. Primarily, my actual expertise is in civil matters. So we've been working with clients that have had issues for disputes or anything to do with insurance work.
Located in the central business hub of the historically rich and culturally diverse city of Lagos, Nigeria, it is a magnificent and modern architecture that emulates the spirit of its vibrant and urban city. Introducing the Pacific Lagos. The iconic mixed-use residential and commercial luxury high-rise is destined to be the first in its class in the center of the eclectic metropolis. This is refined urban living at your doorsteps with exquisite amenities of a high-end high-rise. The Pacific Lagos is an exclusive development designed to stand out when it comes to the luxurious lifestyle in Lagos. The Pacific Lagos. Live, work, play. The Pacific Lagos. This two-tower prestigious architectural masterpiece comes with a unique blend of commercial, luxury, residential, and play space. Built to inspire, designed to enjoy Lagos living at its best, the Pacific Lagos is an excellent masterpiece that will boast a 10-floor commercial tower with premium office spaces and a 12-floor residential with hotel apartments. This iconic mixed-use residential and commercial luxury high-rise is destined to be the first in its class in the center of an eclectic, culturally rich metropolis. The Pacific Lagos. Live, work, play.
Hello, bro. Congratulations. I just heard the good news. Country manager for such a huge multinational. Man, you're made.
Thanks, man. I'm so happy, especially after working so hard for this opportunity. Now I can live my dream.
You don't sound too excited.
Well, I've been thinking of where to invest the increase in my finances. I'm not going to waste this chance, man. I want to put my money in something solid. After all these years of struggle, oh boy, I want to grow real wealth for myself.
That's a small thing now. Haven't you heard of the Pacific Lagos by Global Property Partners? They've got you covered.
That's right. The best investment on earth is Earth. Global Property Partners is now offering for sale 1 and 2 bedroom hotel apartments in the heart of Victoria Island. With as low as 10 million naira, you can own a piece of luxury at the Pacific Lagos, located on Ozumbambadiwe Avenue, Victoria Island, Lagos. Fully serviced with suspended mosaic tiled swimming pool, recreation floor equipped with gym, spa and massage facilities, game room, shopping mart, lifts, restaurants and bar, plus other cutting-edge amenities, round-the-clock security, 24 hours power supply, breathtaking views of Lagos Lagoon and Atlantic, and more. Visit www.thepacificlagos.net or call 0816-162-2647 or 0.
there, have you seen the amazing hotel apartments of the Pacific Lagos on Ozumbambadwe Road in Victoria Island, Lagos? You haven't? Then download the Pacific Lagos app from the Google Play Store. The interactive virtual tour app allows you to experience photorealistic representations of what the project will look like when it is built. You get to have a 360 panoramic view of spaces within the apartment. The app also allows you to move from space to space. Now let's take a look at that space over there. Now, download the Pacific Lagos app from the Google Play Store and experience these spaces for yourself.